Hi, my name is Stephanie Rivers. I'm a sophomore at Clemson. I was a transfer student, and I attended the dialogue on ability and disability. One of the questions that was asked was, do you feel your group achieved true dialogue? And I believe that we did to some degree. To me, a dialogue means that one person talks and someone else states their opinion about the same topic, and other people will join in and add their opinions. We sat there for a while because it was just kind of awkward being with a bunch of people that you didn't know and just going and sitting down and trying to start the class. We were a very small group, but we did have some active voices, but there were a lot of reserved voices also. To me, an active voice is when there's an ongoing conversation between the group about a certain topic and people explain themselves thoroughly. We were asked what ability and disability means to us, and some people stated that they believe that an ability was being able to do something, which seems obvious. I see an ability as something that you're really good at or something that you enjoy doing. When asked what a disability was, a lot of people stated that it was something that you were unable to do or a medical condition. I see a disability as something that you're not so great at as someone else might be, like painting or playing at the guitar or playing a board game. It's not a medical condition, and those people definitely wouldn't want you to claim that they had a disability because it could be hurtful to them. We had a lot of active voices in our group, but there were quite a few reserved voices. We were asked, what role did you play in the group? And I answered the questions, but I was not an active voice. When asked a question, I answered it thoroughly. But I was not one to constantly keep the conversation because it was quite quiet at points, and it was hard to keep the conversation going because I think people were scared to say what they thought because they didn't want to offend anyone. I see, like I said before, I see ability as being something you're really good at. I didn't see the disability as being a medical condition. In our class, we watched a video about a guy who was bedridden. He was unable to communicate, and he was also unable to use his limbs. His mom took care of him every day, and he said that got very old after a while. The only way that he was able to communicate was by a computer that someone had designed for him, and he used that to tell his mom if he needed anything or if something was wrong, because if he didn't have that, then he had no way to communicate to her if something had gone wrong. Some people saw after the video that he did have a disability because he was bedridden, but I didn't see it as having a disability. He was born that way, and God created him that way, and by using the computer, he had the ability to connect to the outside world, which gave him the ability to do many things that many of us are able to do. And it also gave him the ability to find a girlfriend, which loves him for who he is. And she didn't see him as having a disability either. She saw him as special. She didn't see him as being different. She saw him for who he was, and he loved that because he really is no different from us. He's just unable to do some of the things that we are, but he's still a person. We were also given a chart, and we had to list things that were important to us, or very important to us, like least important, like some people say the religion and your faith and what ethnicity and all that stuff. And that was really neat, seeing what everyone listed everything under. Another question that was asked was, Do you think the dialogue is a component of Library 100, and do you see the dialogue as useful? And I believe that the dialogue is useful because it helps you to interact with people that you might not normally interact with, and it puts you in a situation where you can talk to others of different ethnicities and religions and see what their opinions are. In order to improve the dialogue, I would make smaller groups so everyone could communicate and get to know each other before putting everyone in a large group and expecting them to talk to one another, being that they've never met one another. I think Library 100 in general is helpful for new students, whether being making a transition from high school to college or transferring universities, because it helps students find things around the campus that they normally wouldn't find, like the Student Success Center, or helping you find a library book, or if you needed computer help. So overall, I enjoyed Library 100.